Hey, what's up guys? Adonis Paul here, and welcome back to Cobra Kai, where I will strike first, strike hard, and with no mercy when it comes to this new video. And it's gonna make some people feel some kind of way. Now with Season 3 coming out, everybody's been speculating on what exactly Allie with an Eye's role will be. Which sucks for me personally, because I've never liked Allie with an Eye. Allie with an Eye was garbage in Karate Kid. Allie with an Eye is a treacherous snake of a woman that should be cast into a volcano as an offering for rain and crops. I am begging you, writers of Cobra Kai, if Allie has to come back in Season 3, please make her an alcoholic or something. Please do not make her into some kind of perfect woman Mary Sue genius doctor with no flaws whose only role in the story is to simply help Johnny come to terms with letting her go. Allie was trash! And nobody realizes it. Karate Kid, from both Johnny and Daniel's perspective, has been dissected to death, but very few people mention what a terrible person Allie with an Eye is. In fact, when I talk about Karate Kid and Cobra Kai online with people, most people seem surprised I have this opinion. So today, I'm gonna explain it. We first see Allie in the beach scene with Daniel and Johnny when they have their first fight. Over her, by the way. She had just broken up with Johnny because he got wasted and missed her birthday. Which is fair, if you do that to a teenage girl, you're probably gonna get broken up with. But I'm not sure that excuses actively hitting someone while telling them what a crap person they are for fighting people. Oh, and this will come up again. Allie is a violent person. Then she bails on this guy who just got bodied by this weird dirt bike karate gang on her behalf. Yeah, I know Daniel says leave him alone, which is what he does anytime something bad happens. But come on, you're not even gonna give me your number? She doesn't even know Daniel starts at West Valley tomorrow. She was just gonna ghost this random guy who just got stomped over getting her back her boombox. So the next day, Daniel has a hard first day at school trying to adjust to a new environment and new people with a giant black eye that he got last night for simping for this ungrateful rich girl. And he's trying out for the soccer team, and here comes spoiled rich girl. Keep this in mind, it will be a recurring theme. Daniel wasn't looking for Allie. He didn't hunt her down because he loves her and wants to be with her. She just shows back up. And look, I know she's not obligated to defer to the power of the karate biker cult at her school, but we just saw Daniel is in no position to handle these guys. And she is literal concussion bait. And she knows it. Allie finally tells us her name.
Hey, you got a name?
Allie with an Eye.
You know, because that wasn't something she could have done post-beating last night. The least she could have done, some would say. Oh, but speaking of concussion bait, her little plan to piss off her ex-boyfriend on the soccer field by flirting with this guy who attacked him last night worked, as Tommy and Johnny show nonverbal plan-making cues that could rival the Secret Service. Seriously, they have a hand signal for this? They practiced this. Cobra Kai rules. So Bobby hooks Daniel, which is rude but not uncommon on a soccer field. And a fight ensues where Daniel declares that this school does in fact suck.
Hey, this school sucks, man! I shut out of here! Sucks!
Daniel's in the lunch line trying to enjoy his meal of 2 steamed hot dogs with no bun, the lunch of champions. And yet again, here comes Allie with an Eye, unsolicited. She first cons him into buying her lunch, and tells him that her and Johnny are broken up for weeks now, so disregard the multiple ass-kickings. You totally have a shot. Keep on simping there, Dan. Once again, Allie with an Eye, despite what dangers it might pose to Daniel from the Martial Arts Motorcycle Club, just has to go slumming with the poor new kid to validate some need she has to think she's a good person or something. Wow, I hope the Cobra Kais weren't watching. Well, the Karate Kawasaki gang was watching, and they catch Daniel lacking that evening. Johnny throws Daniel down a hill because it's the 80s and that was apparently legal back then. And the next day when Daniel sees the Cobras and rightfully decides it's time to bail, she has the nerve to shame him for it.
I forgot something, so I'll catch up with you guys in a minute, okay?
Yeah, no, you don't have to run away.
I'm not running away from anything.
Luckily, this time the message seemed to get through, and Daniel spends the fall months avoiding both this psycho stalker and the Yakuza gang lord who rules the school and champions the local underage bare-knuckle martial arts kumite. Mr. Miyagi notices Daniel as being a little girl about this whole thing and doesn't want to get accused of stuff with this kid. He's always hanging around his workshop, you know. So he makes Daniel a costume and tells him to go to the dance. He makes him a costume where nobody will know who he is or bother him. It's not a great costume because Allie immediately knows who it is and goes to bother him. So after some shower dancing, she then invites him outside for some, I don't know, whatever 80s kids did outside dances. They smoke cigarettes and awkward second base experiences or something. But Daniel's blood is everywhere but his brain, and now he thinks this woman is a lock. So he gets some petty, stupid revenge on the Shogun of West Valley High, who is minding his own business trying to roll a cheap excuse for a joint. Johnny, why would you do that to your friends? Allie with an eye, who is not outside getting ready to make out, then forgets how much she hates fighting and violence. And she trips Johnny and the Cobras, further enraging him and causing them to beat Daniel even harder. Once again, Daniel wants to be left alone. He's got a costume that specifies, "Leave me alone and don't bother me. I just want to survive until college." And here comes Allie with an eye, invading his costume and getting his ass kicked. We're 4 for 4 now. 3 of those times, Daniel's minding his own business, not looking for Allie when she shows up and gets him stomped out. Are you starting to see the pattern here? So now that Daniel is covered in even more cuts and bruises, Allie with an eye shows up out of nowhere again and thinks it's time to go on a date. He's been beaten enough. You know, let's see if we can get him killed, Allie. But first, let's make things worse. Keep in mind, Allie has no idea about Miyagi and Kreese's deal to keep the Cobras off Daniel's back until the tournament. So she sees this kid and is like,
I don't believe it.
What? Hey, where you going?
I'm gonna go find that idiot, Daniel. It's gonna stop.
oh really? Yeah, that'll end well, because you being involved has helped so much this far. No, Allie, just do like the Shogun of Encino says and leave well enough alone.
You couldn't leave well enough alone. Cut your little twerp.
So Daniel takes advantage of this treaty to mock a bunch of guys that he has to fight in a couple of months, and Allie says,
You did all that damage.
"Now wait, Miss Just Got Moist at the thought of violence. What happened to no fighting? What happened to no bullying?" Allie with an eye is garbage. She is now encouraging this nonsense. Now, and only now, does Allie give Daniel her number and allow him to see her off campus. After all this, he just got her number. So apparently Daniel heals like Wolverine, because that Saturday they go to golf and stuff. Daniel's mom drops him off in the back of the parking lot because not even Mrs. LaRusso wants to be seen with this kid. Allie and Daniel play video games and take photographic proof of this boy's ability to heal faster than Deadpool. Later in the evening, Johnny, Dutch, and Bobby roll up with their bad bitches. And they're completely over the whole ordeal. Johnny's cruising around with hot babes, you know how much he likes that. And Dutch is awesome wherever he happens to be and whatever he happens to be doing. They kindly offer to let Daniel join. Straight up, Johnny tries to make peace here. He's a jerk about it, but come on, they're 17. Allie with an eye here should be happy the ghetto stomping is about to end for her date. And this makes sense because Cobra Kai respects violence and Daniel's master just whooped everyone in that car. But no, Allie insults them by spitting in the face of their kind gesture and then pretends to be disappointed about her own choice to be stuck with this loser that she just kept from making friends and doing the thing she's pretending to be upset about. Allie with an eye sucks. So they have another date, but Allie stands him up, and he goes looking for this broad. Luckily, he finds her mid-mouth raping by Johnny Lawrence. Now, this is what Cobra Kai's would call a complete alpha move. And you can tell because this is Allie's dad right behind them. Daniel sees that this kiss has been parentally sanctioned and gets the spaghetti spilled on him. Then he bails. Allie, having regained use of her nervous system after being kissed by Johnny Lawrence, punches him for sexually assaulting her. And her mom checks on Johnny! They really want this guy in the family. Man, let me catch some biker ninja kid making out with my daughter right in front of me. Anyway, heartbroken, Daniel goes to get hammered with Miyagi because he is slowly becoming a man. Oh, speaking of becoming a man, happy birthday, Daniel. Here's a fully restored convertible classic car with no alarm system or GPS to park in front of your ghetto apartment complex. Well, first order of business, go throw this in the face of that chick who did him wrong. So he cruises over to golf and stuff in his new ride and starts acting like an obnoxious douchebag. But wait, Daniel, Allie is mad at you. For what? Who knows? She knows darn well it looked like she was stepping out on him. But Allie expects you to know why she's mad. She didn't try to explain, call him, let him know what happened, that she punched Johnny. No. Allie with an eye is too good for that. The I stands for independent, bitch. So Allie's mean girlfriends hit Daniel to what her problem is, and Daniel actually goes and apologizes to her. Then he lets her drive his brand new car and be his +1 at the All Valley Bare Knuckle Underage Mortal Kombat tournament. Miyagi is mystical and he can sense Allie's pure evil, so he enlists her non-verbally into a plan to steal someone's belt. and then she lies her way onto the tournament floor. This is so she can provide both a distraction to Daniel and be fuel for Johnny's rage at the same time, and it works pretty well. The Cobra has basically crippled Daniel, and if not for winning by use of a clearly illegal kick to the face, Johnny would have emerged victorious. So her and Daniel stay together for a whopping 5 months before she wrecks Daniel's classic car and breaks up with him for some UCLA football player. The same night! Allie can't even wait a day after destroying Daniel's ride to leave him.
Oh, Daniel-san, must have been something your prom. What happened?
You mean what didn't happen? First I let Allie borrow the car and she redesigns my fender. And I don't know what she did with the engine, but that ain't running right either. You know what else she does? She tells me that she's just fallen in love with some football player from UCLA.
After all those ass whoopings he's taken, after entering a karate tournament to win her, she wrecks his car and leaves him at prom. So I say to you, writers of Cobra Kai, you are excellent at writing nuance into characters and making sure that all the characters have both good aspects and bad aspects. Please, don't bring Allie back and make her a good person. Allie is trash. I have always hated Allie with an I, and I probably will always hate Allie with an I. Allie is nothing more than a mildly attractive chubby chick who manipulates men into fighting over her as a form of entertainment until she moves on to the bigger, better deal. Allie is garbage, and if you like her, you are into garbage. I'm Adonis Paul, and Allie with an I sucks.